Recently, in just a matter of days, Cardano was up 53%. Now, just in a matter of days, Cardano down 44%. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by today. I am in another new location coming at you with a Cardano video. And this is just crypto right now on the charts. I want to dig into everything that's been going on. I want to just talk about what I'm seeing on the charts. This is literally crypto, though. This is crypto. Up 53%. Cardano holders, hype, bullish, right? Positive, optimistic. And then just like that, like flipping a switch, Cardano down 44%. All those gains completely wiped away. And this is the entirety of crypto. This is how crypto works. This is literally the chart to get used to seeing if you're going to be in crypto for a while. But let's talk about what has gone on. I want to definitely dig into this chart. This is a 6-hour chart. I want to dig into the daily chart. I want to first start by looking at the weekly chart. This is, from a macro perspective, what has really been taking place, what we've been waiting for, what we've been tracking, what a lot of people have been worried about, right? If you remember from this macro perspective, we have this lower trend line going back all the way to like February, right? Almost a year-long lower trend line. On this weekly chart, you can see Cardano with this weekly candle not looking good. The upper trend line all the way back here, this is basically a rising, broadening wedge. And the breakout target to the downside that we've talked about is 80-cent range, right? So it's been in play. This lower trend line has been tested a lot over really the last couple of months. And just recently, Cardano today hit around 90 cents. So getting extremely close to that 80-cent target. Was the target exactly hit? No. Maybe it still will be, but 80-cent target, Cardano coming extremely close to hitting. On top of that, we have this pattern that I've been tracking personally for a while, this symmetrical triangle setup that we've been waiting for an upper trend line touch. Cardano has just kind of failed to get there on the daily chart. But when we're starting to dig into the charts, we have to be very mindful of everything taking place within the 50-week moving average, which we were just talking about. Remember, this is kind of the top of the hot zone that I talked about in the last video. The 50-week moving average around $1.62-ish to this 50-day moving average around $1.30. So $1.30 to $1.62. Let's call it $1.30 to $1.60. That entire range is just a very, very important range. And what's so important to point out is Cardano has failed. We broke the 50-day moving average the other day. We talked about, it's all good if Cardano comes back down and retests it, which it literally did right after I did that last video. The next couple of days, it did come back down and tested the 50-day moving average. But we were looking for a bullish bounce back to the upside. Oftentimes, that's what we see with bullish momentum. It didn't happen. Cardano failed at the 50-day, failed at the 20-day, failed at this lower trend line of this larger symmetrical triangle. So yes, we have, if you zoom out now in the daily chart, we do have this 80-cent target to the downside that we've talked about. And now that we're below the lower trend line, once again, we need to discuss that more. But we also have a target to the downside of in the 50-cent range, and that is a target out of this larger symmetrical triangle type of pattern that we've been tracking. So again, we've talked about this 50 to $1 range area for me being this area where I'm kind of like, it's probably time to do a little heavier accumulation for me. And that's still something I'm thinking about, right? But now that we're breaking this trend line, we have to just anticipate these things. I'm going to throw some hopium out to you. I'm going to talk about a little bit of upside and what Cardano really needs to do and what could still happen. But we really need to be prepared for these targets at all times, everybody, especially when all of this support just starts failing as it has. And we have to keep an eye on the entirety of the crypto market. I would love to track all of these things a little bit more, but I'm just like, we're going crazy over here with moving, and we're all over the place in terms of location. So it's very difficult for me to put too much time into covering different aspects of the market right now, as much as I really, really would want to, especially with everything going on in crypto. I'm doing my best though, but I'm definitely prioritizing. I wanted to cover this move for Cardano. I talked about some hopium. Now, this is the hopium for you on the daily chart. You can see, well, first off, this daily wick down to 90 cents. Number one, it is in line with all of these daily wicks back here. There was a lot of demand just picking up, scooping up that Cardano under $1. And so far, that has happened again. Will that demand keep up? Will it continue? We keep an eye on it. But that same thing has happened, and along that line, at the same time, Cardano, we've talked about this bullish divergence here on this RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator, these higher lows that Cardano has seen. So as Cardano is getting this really nice daily looking wick, right? It's a lower low on the daily chart. We're still getting this higher low on the daily RSI. There could be a bit of bullish divergence here on this chart, and it's something to keep an eye on. Don't want to throw too much hopium out there. At the end of the day, the bullish target to the upside, we've talked about the downside, there's two targets around 80 cents and 50 cents. Target to the upside is really, we look for another pullback to the lower trend line to see if Cardano can get back above that lower trend line. Currently around $1.25 to $1.30 is probably area we'd want to see Cardano make a move to off of this move, right, that we've just seen on this daily candle. Another piece of just good vibes on the Cardano charts. This was a higher high from this previous swing high, that previous lower high. That's good. This could suggest on the longer term, if Cardano can see this bullish divergence here on this chart and get the bounce here, this could suggest there's still momentum in play for Cardano. Again, this isn't financial advice at all. This is just what I'm seeing on the charts. It's a little bit of hopium sprinkled in to this downside. We've seen how quick things can turn around when going to the upside. Boom. The same thing is true to the downside. Things could very well turn around just as quickly. We wanted to be prepared for every scenario. We know the targets to the downside. I'm watching 80 cents. And if we don't get a nice solid bounce off of there, there's a 50-cent target as well. But time will tell. We continue to track it. I hope you all are doing okay out there. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.